What's up, agents? I know we've all had that client that it just seems like the transaction will never get to the finish line, whether they're infiltrating the entire transaction with negativity or just are all around difficult to deal with. We've had that client. I want you to know that in the past, I have turned that difficult client into an all-star MVP referral machine, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, whether you're in the moment, it's already happened, or it hasn't happened to you yet. We're going to dive into that, and we're going to talk about how we can turn this maybe stressful event into success and help you get a win in real estate. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane with the Real Estate Agent Playbook. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please share this with your favorite real estate agent, whether you're listening on the podcast, almost at 5,000 downloads over there. Thank you so much. Or you're watching on YouTube. Please do not hesitate to like this and engage and tell me what you think, as well as share this with your favorite real estate agent. We are here to help every single real estate agent get another win today in the game of real estate. So let's talk about this, right? We've all had that client, and in the moment, it is so difficult, right? I've had clients that, are always want to go look at houses on the other side of town in the middle of rush hour. We have to stop at the gas station for beers, and, it just makes it really difficult, right? Not me drinking beer, but the clients. And at the end of the day, we need to really focus on how we can make every situation a win. And regardless of where they're coming from, or maybe they're just that way naturally, what we do is have clients and buyers and sellers. The act of buying and selling a home, especially this day and age, comes with a ton of stress, whether it's financial stress, whether it's, getting the documents over here. Moving has become quite the endeavor since we are such collectors of things. And so you have to understand that these people are under an immense amount of stress, and us as agents are there to ease that stress. The more that you can ease their stress and their tension and help them have a great, as good as possible experience, that's what we need to do. And although it may be difficult, we have to separate ourselves from this and understand it's probably not personal. Could be sometimes, I guess. But it's more than likely the amount of stress and the lack thereof of understanding the situation. So maybe that's a communication error on our part, or maybe it's just how they operate in stressful situations. And I would hope that not every human has a negative, outlook on life, but sometimes there is. Regardless of what the situation is, us as real estate professionals are paid and rewarded famously by referrals by helping these people through tough decisions and helping them to the other side. Because at the end of the day, once the sale is over, once the move is over, and they are on to their next adventure, typically there is a huge feeling of relief. And when that feeling of relief comes, you want to be around, you want to still be on speaking terms, and you want to be someone that had a part in that relief. Maybe we try and figure out the root cause. Maybe that's just me with my psychology degree from Colorado State, but I want to figure out the root cause. Is there anything that I could do better, whether it's, communicate, explain something a little bit better, or, is it something that has to do with timing of day? What is actually the root cause of this? Is it just a stressful situation, right? There are some stressful situations that create real estate transactions. Death, divorce, relocation, losing a job or getting a job. All of these things are very stressful. So if you can identify the root cause, and I will caution you not to dive deep, you don't have to be their psychologist or counselor, but if you can identify the root cause, it makes it a lot easier to work around that and understand more of where they are coming from. So if we can find the root cause, great. If not, we need to operate under a general, feeling of serving the client, right? We do get paid for this transaction. It is our job, and we have to understand that we are going to come across people that have a ton of stress or anxiety or something surrounding this massive life event of buying and selling a home. Then, at all costs, we must have the proper communication. Sometimes this is proactive communication, telling people what might come. If, they do stress out in the negotiation back and forth, we need to prep them. Okay, the inspection is a negotiation time period, so this is kind of how it works out. I always prep my clients to talk about, okay, the inspection is for your, knowledge. If there are things that get in the way of your desire to purchase this home based on condition, we can absolutely, negotiate that. But ultimately, by the inspection, for your knowledge of the home, where the water shutoff is, the age of the appliances, what may come as a future homeowner. And then if we, take that on, then we can have the conversation about asking for, fixes or credits or whatever. But we must first have that proactive communication. The next thing we probably can all get better at, myself, is proactive listening, right? We need to actively listen to them and understand what is their actual desire, right? This is something I use on listing appointments all the time. Why are you making this move? What prompted this move, right? Because if I can understand that and I can understand their motivation, I can certainly serve them at a higher level. So that's absolutely the case on the sell side, but also on the buy side. What are they doing, right? You've all seen my video where I talk about my, strategy where I scout out neighborhoods and so on. And I just talk about sitting back and listening. I want husbands and wives and brothers and sisters and everyone to have their voice heard so we can develop a list of must-haves and absolutely non-negotiable. We're not living in a house with X, right? We're not living on a house on a highway, whatever that is. And so we want to listen more than we talk, especially in the initial stages, so that we understand exactly what's going on with the entire situation, not just, what the husband wants or what the mom wants or what the daughter wants or whatever that may be. We need to know the players, and then we need to listen to their desires. And then ultimately, we need to ease the tension. And agents, I'm going to call you out. It's not always the other agent's fault. And if we portray a positive relationship with the agent on the other side of the transaction, it's more than likely that it'll be a much smoother transaction than, calling the other agent names to the client or, anything that goes on, or this agent didn't do this agent didn't give me the showing instructions, this agent didn't, operate how I think they should operate. Understand every time you talk about the other agent that way, first of all, it's a violation of ethics, but also it adds fuel to the fire, right? And so let's take a step back and make sure, first of all, with the other agents and the other side, that we are maintaining professional courtesy and understanding that they have a situation too that we don't know about, right? And so you don't know what other people are going through. So make sure that you are doing everything you can to diffuse the situation and not add fuel to it. So then comes the time where we can find, now that we've actively listened, we've diffused any situations, we have an opportunity in every transaction. I don't care how negative someone is or how stressed out or disappointed or whatever they are, there is that time in the transaction where it seems like, okay, we've made it. We've got all the documents to the underwriter. We've, checked all these boxes. We've paid off this debt that we had to pay off in order to get this loan. We, cashed in our stocks, whatever it is, right? There's that point where it's like, okay, and everyone takes a deep breath. And so we just need to get to that point, and we need to understand when we get to that point that we can move the needle forward from there, right? We don't want to go back to the negative piece, right? We don't want to be like, okay, now we're at the appraisal, the inspection's done, we're good. If the inspection's done, the inspection's done. Let's not keep bringing it up. Let's not, talk about how the seller was super, tight on what they were offering or whatever. We want to leave that in the past and move forward. And if we can do that, we can get the ball of momentum rolling so that at some point we can say, hey, we've made it. Would you mind giving me a testimonial? Would you mind sharing your experience with me to the public, right? And usually if that's in transaction, or maybe it's at the closing table, or maybe it's a month later when you call them, they're going to be like, oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this. It was so hard. And I know I was super stressed out and maybe hard to deal with, but thank you so much. You're a great real estate agent or whatever. If you maintain this relationship with them, and you continue to grab that momentum. Once we're out of the weeds, grab that momentum and then ask them to shout your names from the rooftop because of how you handled it, right? And that comes with not overreacting, not getting in, back and forth matches with them. It's not you against them under any circumstances. And so that's where we need to get to. So keep working towards that. Keep, being who you are and the professional that you are, and keep, acknowledging their stress, but also preparing them for the next steps. And once that sigh of relief comes, that's when you have the opportunity to turn this, nightmare client, so to speak, into an absolute MVP in your business. And the truth is, we all hang out with people that we're very similar to in personality type, sometimes opposite, but mostly similar. And so they may have several people that could be in that situation. No deal is going to be the same. And you may say, there's no way I'm ever dealing with that again. Okay, I get it. However, most of the time you can ask them, say, hey, remember how we went through this and this is what happened. Remember how that's just a speck on the radar now, right? When you're moving into your new home, it doesn't really matter that they didn't, clean and service the furnace that was 2 years old, right? And you can remind them, and then that's when you can ask for referrals and you can ask for testimonials, and you can turn that client that seemed like a nightmare in the moment into something that's absolutely amazing. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do. Understand we do get paid and to deal with some of these things that I've talked about in this video. And there is never a client that you get across the finish line that cannot be an absolute MVP if you play your cards right. You stay calm, you stay professional, and you are there to serve no matter what the outcome. So I know some of you are screaming at the TV like, there's no way. Okay, you don't have to work with everyone. That is your choice. But before that, if you're laying that down in the listing appointment or the buyer's agent appointment, this is, these are the things and this is how it's got to be, you're losing clients. So I want to encourage you guys all to take a deep breath yourselves, understand that you are a professional and you deserve to be treated as such. But sometimes it takes a little bit, and sometimes we're dealing with people with crazy stress. So if you have a crazy client story that you want to put in the comments, please do. If you want to reach out to me, you can always DM me over on Instagram at the RE Agent Playbook. I love chatting with all of you guys, and I hope this helps. And don't worry, if you haven't had a difficult client where you feel like you're going to pull all your hair out, you will. And you can always reach out and I can offer you some tips. Or you can watch the last video I just recorded with Adam Gillespie, and he talks about how you use ChatGPT in order to identify with some personalities to get a great result. So please like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.